My neighbor's kid, man, he's into football. And I'm seeing him throwing the football with his little brother or whatever.
Which neighbor is this, by the way?
I you know.
Heard.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
All right, so they're out there throwing the football. I see him. Cause I hang out there. I do my walks and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I see him. I'm like, man, y'all throw me the football. Let me throw with y'all a little bit. Throwing it. And when I say, Dave, this is the ugliest delivery of a football I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, the best way to describe it, you know that dance, that clock that T dance?
Yeah.
You know the beginning when you shift and shift? That's his setup. And then
so this man all hit first.
Dude, and then when he throws it, it's like he's turning a double play.
That's underarm sidearm.
Yes, man.
No, sir.
Yes.
No,
so
sir.
It's like,
no, sir.
Bruh, it's
so you coming up? No, sir.
I'm just like, dude, what is this? Like, and it's got a little spin to it, but I'm like, dog, we gotta fix this, man.
Gotta refine that.
We gotta fix this. So I'm trying to work with him, and he's getting to the point where it's almost like I'm a little kid, where he'll knock on the door like, hey, can Mr. Adrian come out? Like, because the last thing I want this kid to do before he tries out for the team is to go out and do that. Because
he already
as former players, as former coaches,
right, trying to help young men. Now you already see it.
I see you do this. I see you do this. You're basically
try another position, bud.
Yeah, man, you're gonna be playing offensive guard, my boy. Like, you're gonna be playing guard. Let's get on this sled. Let's get this sled work.
Let's hit this sled real quick.
Because this throwing, this ain't it. I
need a fullback, son. I need a fullback.
If that,
I see this in your future. Right?
If you saw that, that ain't it. That ain't it.
How about you?
Folks, welcome back to another episode of Dogs versus All Y'all, a college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. We talk about all things college football, hence All Y'all. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me. And today I am joined by the joyful, almost annoying, but because I love him, because he's my brother, I'm going to let him come on here and go ahead and get his stuff off prior to this national championship game. I got an Ohio State fan, Dave. What's happening, brother?
Doing awesome, but I have to correct you from the jump. The Ohio State University fan. Let's go ahead and get proper.
I don't even want to get into that rant of those semantics, but it's been a fun season.
Good morning, good people.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
Let's start there. Good morning, good people.
Yeah,
it's lovely in my neighborhood. I know the sun might not be shining in everybody else's, but right now it's looking good in Buckeye Nation. So yeah. All y'all is doing good today. So
there we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, man. Listeners, if this is your first time checking us out, like I said, I'm a diehard Georgia Bulldog fan, but just as much of a Georgia fan I'm a fan of college football. I'm a fan of football in general. You can ask this guy. He's known me for quite some time now. He knows that I love the game. I will watch the hell out of Ohio State. I'll watch every single team in this country because I'm a fan of the sport. It's not just about Georgia. So you're not going to get the run-of-the-mill homer stance from me as a Georgia fan. You're talking to me as a college football fan. So all that aside, Dave, let's go ahead and get into some messiness. This episode, y'all, by the way, we're going to talk about a couple things. Of course, we're going to predict the national championship game this upcoming Monday. We're super excited about that. But we got a few things outside of that we definitely got to touch on. And one of those things will be, is Deion Sanders going to the NFL? Mm-hmm. That's something we're going to talk about. And then also, I got to talk about my guy, Carson Beck. Dave, you see, I got my orange and green. You know what I'm saying? I feel sick throwing it up, but I'm trying to tell you, it's up, man. It's up and it's stuck. My guy is South Beach Beck. We gotta talk about not just Carson leaving Georgia and going to Miami, but we gotta talk about the culture of a lot of these quarterbacks basically getting pushed out of their programs, which is
correct.
Pretty interesting, but sign of the times.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Dave, let's go and get into this first topic. This is something that we brought up in the chat. Shout out to Art, the homie.
Big stuff.
Yeah, big Art. We got to talk about it, Dave. We had a conversation talking about who is the real wide receiver you. It's been programs, it's been schools that have claimed it as of late. I've seen Alabama fans say it. I've seen other schools like Miami at one point. The team I'm going to talk about, or at least petition for, LSU. And, of course, the Ohio State University. And we had a quick little debate about it, and I want to bring it to the podcast. So, Dave, obviously, you're going to present Ohio State as the real wide receiver you. I want to know, man, who's the real wide receiver you?
Well, you kind of stole the thunder, but let me just bring some context to it. Ohio State is wide receiver you, period. And not just because I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan, not just because I am diehard or recent history. It's because of the product we put on the field consistently.
Okay.
Not just this year, not just last year, because everyone can think about your Marvin Harrisons or your Garrett Wilsons, but we have been doing this. Mm-hmm. We have been doing this. Ohio State has consistently put receivers in the league. Whether they perform in the league is neither here nor there. But as far as producing products in the college football landscape, and putting receivers in the league, we do this on average better than anybody else in the college football landscape.
Okay.
I'll just run down the list. So since 1995, Ohio State.
You're bringing up 95.
I said since.
Some of our listeners weren't even born.
Cool. They gonna get this education today. You gonna get these facts today. Since 1995, these are the first round receivers that Ohio State has put into the league. Just the first round. I'm going to go down to other ones. Joey Galloway, 1995. Terry Glenn, 1996. Give me one moment. Keep my facts straight. David Boston, 1999. Michael Jenkins, 2004. Santonio Holmes, 2006. Ted Ginn Jr., 2007. Anthony Gonzalez, 2007. That's 2 in 2007 from that national championship team that we got robbed in Florida for, bad coaching. Robbed. Anyway, 2022, fast forward, Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, both in 2022, went back to back, 10 and 11.
Right.
2023, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Right.
2024, Marvin Harrison Jr. This year, Abeka is going to be a first round draft pick. So this is not something that is recent history. This is something that we've done. That's just first round. Keep going. So we have Curtis Samuel, Buffalo Bills. These are on current NFL rosters.
Right.
Xavier Johnson, Houston Texans. He's on the practice squad, but current rosters again. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Paris Campbell, Ohio State alum. Noah Brown, Terry McLaurin. All wide receivers from wide receiver U. It is no contest. It is no question about it. We produce the best talent at the wide receiver position. All because my guy, got to give him a shout out. The heart and soul of wide receiver U recently is Brian Hartline, the man who knows how to attract talent. He knows how to recognize it. He knows how to develop it. And he's clearly putting these guys in position where they can go to the next level and make dollars off of what they learned at the Ohio State University.
Okay, I like that. So you're going off of the quantity end, and I respect that.
Because guys I didn't even mention that left out that they went to the league but they flamed out.
Right.
KJ Hill flamed out. Devin Smith flamed out.
Right.
I didn't even go back to Chris Carter. So that just lets you know I didn't go back to the 80s. So
I feel that.
These are all guys we have put in the league and produced.
I feel that. So once again,
didn't even mention Michael Thomas. I can keep going.
Yeah,
we are so
I hear that.
The facts speak for themselves. The players speak for themselves.
Well, look, Dave, you talking quantity.
Yep, quantity.
Dogs versus all y'all. We're going to talk about quality. We're going to talk
Okay.
about
Okay.
We're going to talk about the top 2 wide receivers currently in the NFL are both LSU Tigers.
Absolutely.
Make no mistake about it. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. You will pick both of those guys over every wide receiver you just finished pontificating upon. In the past 4 minutes, every name that you mentioned, including Chris Carter, you're going to pick Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase over that man if you were starting a team.
Hard to argue that. Hard to argue that.
All right.
Hard to argue that.
Let's talk about a couple more of these wide receivers. Now, currently, we're talking Russell Gage. Solid option, right? I mean, he
is a legit NFL wide receiver. I'll give him that.
What about Malik Neighbors, Dave? Oh, a 1,000-yard rookie receiver.
Definitely ascending star. I can see it.
Okay, and speaking of ascending stars, Brian Thomas Jr., another 1,000-yard receiver right now.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Terrence Marshall didn't do too much, but he is currently in Las Vegas.
On NFL roster.
He's still on the roster. DJ Chark. He's in the play.
Okay.
I mean, he was in the playoffs before
until
Justin Herbert tricked it off. It is what it is. These things happen.
Okay.
But and then let's talk about these guys, my guys, our guys. This is our era. Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry.
Yep. 2
of the best college wide receivers of all time. And then once they got to the NFL, they kept the thing going. Now, you mentioned somebody like a David Boston. You mentioned, I mean, you admitted KJ Hill, he flamed out pretty quickly.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. But somebody like David Boston, he was in the league in and out, if we're really looking at it. Now, respect to him. Right. Respect to him. 5-6 years, you in the league, you've made some money, you've done your thing. You are a true professional. But let's be honest, Dave. 5-6 year career of my guy David Boston versus Jarvis Landry, who had 5 to 6 Pro Bowl years, then add another 4 or 5 decent, I'm on a roster, I'm a professional type deal. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I will give you, as in legacy, as in a legacy act, the Ohio State is a foundational wide receiver but it's one thing about the game of football. It's one thing about sports. Everything has to evolve. The next evolution of the wide receiver is coming out of wide receiver. And no. The next evolution.
You're saying evolution. Stop it.
The next evolution is LSU. Because once again, your top 2 wide receivers, let's not talk any hype or any buzz or anything about it. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
So both of those guys,
they're the class of the league.
They are the class, but respectfully, they've been in the league 3 or 4 years, correct?
Yes.
Give my guy Marvin another year.
Okay.
Eden.
Okay.
Give my guy JSN another 2 years.
Garrett been in the league 3-4 years, and it ain't Garrett Wilson. He's good. He's good. He's talented.
Whoa.
No. He's good. He's talented.
Pro Bowl.
Is he in that top tier percent with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? No.
He's a top 10 receiver in the league with the right quarterback. Top 15.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson
has Sam Darnold as his quarterback, Dave.
Hey.
Justin Jefferson was getting busy with a quarterback who didn't have eyebrows last year. Shout out to Josh Dobbs.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson is him.
I mean, it's levels to this. I understand that. So Justin Jefferson, class of his own. Jamar Chase, class of his own. But Marvin is in that class. Next guy coming out, Jeremiah is definitely in that class.
We got years before we talk about Jeremiah.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. He's not going to be in the NFL in the next. He has another 2 years.
Best receiver in college right now.
Absolutely.
He's the best receiver in college right now.
Absolutely. And then how old is he? Is he 17 like Ryan?
Thank you.
Okay. Now,
Thank you.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
But when we're talking about NFL, I mean wide receiver, I'm talking about the
Mhm.
guys who have left college, got into the league, and now they're doing their thing.
They're stars. They're stars. But
These are
those guys,
These are levels.
those guys came in as stars though. Justin didn't develop at LSU. He came in as that guy. Jamar didn't develop at LSU. He came in as that guy. Marvin Harrison,
Justin didn't.
4-star.
Justin wasn't. Justin didn't
Justin
come
wasn't a
in as
5-star?
no.
What
No.
Justin had?
I want to say Justin was like a 3 or a 4. Remember,
Fair.
Justin came off the strength of his brother. His older brother
You're
was
absolutely right.
quarterback, right?
His brother was a quarterback. You're right.
Now,
You're
Jamar,
right. He got
Jamar, on the other hand, it came in. It was already established.
all world.
He was the dude.
Odell.
Yeah.
Odell walked
And we
in
did,
all world.
yeah. No.
Odell was behind.
No.
He was under Jarvis. They said he was under Jarvis when he came in, but he was still that guy.
Odell
was a track
when he
star.
came in, he was like a 3. He wasn't a 4 or 5-star. He didn't come in hype. He came in respected amongst those circles because people knew the name. But I'm just saying, like, people weren't just like, okay, this freshman Odell Beckham, he's taking over the world. When Odell got drafted by the Giants, they weren't thinking about that of him. It wasn't until he had that catch.
That amazing catch, correct?
Right. Against the Cowboys.
You can't be wide receiver if you're not coming in with the fanfare. I just ran how? How? Because expectations mean you got to live up to that. There's a standard set when, hey, you that guy, and then when I put the tape on the field, okay, you were really that guy. Okay. It's different. It's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of, like, when you put on that garnet, that scarlet jersey, hey, expectation when you hit this field, bud, and then you live up to expectation, that means something different.
I hear you. Shout out to Brian Hartline though, because I do function with him, and some other school needs to go ahead and pay him. So I don't need to keep seeing these kids going to Ohio State.
I ain't even talking about who's there now.
Right.
How about Chris Henry, number 1 overall player, number 1 receiver in the class of 2006?
Yeah,
about to eat.
Looks just like his pops too.
Julian Fleming was the number 3 overall player, number 1 wide receiver. He transferred to Penn State. He should have stayed.
Flamed
Can't
out.
Help you, but flamed out. Can't help you, bud. But we already know about Jeremiah Smith. How about Carnell Tate out here eating?
Carnell.
When they want to triple team.
I like Carnell.
When they triple team my guy Jeremiah out here. Hey, coach, let's eat.
Let's get
Put
busy.
me on the field, coach. I'm ready. Let's get busy.
That's a fact.
It's what we do. This is wide receiver you. Another one that flamed out with us, Jameson Williams. We're not even going to talk about it. Had to leave.
You claiming
Couldn't
Jameson?
get on the field. Couldn't get on the field. He couldn't get on the field, coach. He couldn't get on the field, coach.
No.
Where'd he start?
That's a violation.
Where'd he start?
I wish I would have made a flag. I wish I would have made a flag because I knew you were going to be a line stepper. I knew you were going to.
Where'd he start, Adrian?
We're talking.
Who recruited him?
Who recruited him? But who got him? Who got him and made him a star?
I mean, because he wasn't with the program. If you're not going to be with but the recognizing of talent, that's what I'm talking about. Look, Ohio State consistently recognizes the talent.
That's fair.
At the lower levels, brings them in. Hey, you got to develop, bud. You got to jump in here. If you don't develop, I can't help you. But the recognition of the talent, we out here, coach.
I give you that.
We out here.
All right, speaking of talent,
Graham can't see the field.
I'm not about to talk about these kids that we haven't seen and we won't see.
I'm just making
until they transfer elsewhere.
You're right.
Yeah, but speaking of talent, Dave, one of the most talented players that we've ever seen in our lifetime, one of the most talented personalities we've ever heard and experienced is Coach Deion Sanders. Yep. And, this past year, he coached Colorado. They had a hell of a season, Dave. They shut up a lot of critiques. It was a lot of people who said, this was going to be a quick flame out, especially based on the previous year. I know people came in his first year at Colorado and Boulder with some high expectations. You were one of those.
I did. I was a little bit more immediately jump in.
Yeah, I was a little bit more, not so much skeptical as much as, hey, college football is one of those things where you got to at least build a little bit. So I did predict the right win amount with him last year. But going this year, I'll be honest, man, he proved me wrong. I said they were going to win like 4 or 5 games this year.
Correct.
I
You thought they was going to repeat first
year. I
just
didn't. I didn't see it. I was like, I don't know how these teams are going to be able to do the portal, drop a whole bunch of players, add a whole bunch of players, and make it happen. I just didn't see it. He proved me wrong. He did this. They did their thing. They were extremely talented. The star players elevated, and they brought some solid quality guys with them. So shout out to Colorado for their season. But I talk about Deion in this segment, Dave, just to talk about this quick little rumor that said that, or it's not even a rumor because he flat out said it. Deion had some interest in this Las Vegas Raiders opening. So my question to you is this, Dave, with his son Sheddur being one of the top rated quarterbacks in the draft, a lot of mock drafts have the Raiders drafting Sheddur. With this job opening, the stars are aligning with the potential that we see the Sanders combination now in Las Vegas. My question to you is this, Dave. Do you think that having Deion Sanders as Sheddur's coach helps him in the long run or possibly hinders him in the long run? I'm not going to say hurts him in the long run because that's your dad. Your dad going to make sure you're good. But I'm saying hinder, as in possibly affect his progression. What are your thoughts?
Kind of torn because I see it both ways. I think that Deion, without a doubt, has elevated the profile of Sheddur Sanders. From a marginal player to a good player, from a good player to a potentially professional. I don't want to say great, but above average player. From a good player to above average player.
The potential is there. The potential to be a great player is there.
That's what I see. So I believe that Deion has had that effect. What I think that the biggest bonus that Deion has provided is that he stayed out of Sheddur's way. You led with it. Deion's coaching acumen has been increased because he understands his role. I believe Deion is the figurehead of Colorado. He knows that he's supposed to be the press conference guy. He's supposed to be the attention guy. He's supposed to bring the guys in. He's supposed to be the speech guy. And then he gets out of the way and he lets his coaches coach. I think that is the biggest thing that Deion recognized last year is that, hey, I got to get some real coaches in here. I got to get a real program. I got to get these guys some real development. Once you get the Jimmys and the Joes, then you got to develop them. It does no good to have all these names and big name stars if you're not developing them. And I got to give kudos and shout out to Sanders for that because he's actually built a real program. In the NFL, do I think that's going to work? I'm torn. I'm not sure. I don't want to doubt it because look at recent history.
He thrives on that. He thrives
That's his fuel.
Yeah.
That's his fuel. When you tell him he can't do something, he can't do it. But for Sheddur, hey, when you're out there on the field, bud, Pops can't give you but so much cover. Pops can't do too much for you if you can't read the cover 3 zone. Pops can't do nothing for you if you misidentify cloud coverage. And the media is going to be on a different level. In college, you have a certain level of respect because you understand these are not professionals. Well, with NIL, that's kind of changing.
Nah, they give them boys hell now, boy.
Right, with NIL, that's kind of shifting.
Right.
But for a professional franchise, Bud, you got owners to answer to. You have other professionals and other people who are earning paychecks who are dependent on you. And no one at Colorado is stepping to Sheddur and telling them, hey, you play like trash today.
Right.
In the NFL, you're definitely catching some of that. And Deion can't save you.
And you're playing with grown-ass men that are just like, whatever, man.
whatever, bro.
It is what
Like
it is.
exactly. So that cachet that Deion has, though he is a Hall of Famer, though he's great, I think that it would run dry, and that message would quickly fizzle out if Shedeur can't live up to the expectations.
I feel that.
So that's why I'm a little torn because I don't want to doubt Deion because
Right.
every time he's been doubted thus far on this journey, he's produced.
That's true.
Like you said, he thrives off that
Mhm.
you telling me I can't do something. He thrives off that doubt. But Shedeur has to put the product on the field. So would it hurt? It hasn't hurt thus far. He has walked his son through every step
Right.
masterfully.
Right.
I'm talking about masterfully walked his son through every step of college to get to the level where he is now, to where he is going to be the number 1 or number 2 quarterback taken in the draft. So you can't argue with those type of results. So if the goal is to put my son in position where he can succeed,
Mission
he's done that.
accomplished, man. Yeah.
Mission accomplished, 100%. Will it work on the professional ranks? Yet to be seen. In my personal opinion, I do not think that Deion would be as successful in the professional ranks because he would be dealing with grown men and because these guys that message would wax cold.
Yeah.
If you don't have instant success and immediately win, hey coach, I ain't trying to hear that no more. Exactly. I ain't hearing that.
I'm bucking.
I'm not listening.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to none of that.
Yeah.
So that is my reservation with him going to the NFL, and that is why I think he should stay in the college game.
I feel
However, in the college game, I do think he needs to go into a bigger conference and produce on that level. Because if Deion goes to like SEC school, I don't want to say Florida State because I think they're on the downside. I think Florida State missed their mark and missed the boat on that.
I think he'll hold that grudge forever with them.
Absolutely, and I think
should.
that kind of, I think that kind of motivates them.
Yeah.
You guys didn't think I could do it, and now I'm out here doing it.
Yeah.
But I can see Deion at a Big Ten program, an SEC program, and if he produces at that level, he is legendary, and he can ride off on a white horse. He can be Nick Saban Jr. and write his own check because he has the attraction of the younger generation, which is what you need in this landscape. He just pulled the number 1 quarterback in high school right now,
in the state of Georgia. In the state of Georgia, but he is considered like a top 3.
I'm not going to disrespect Underwood.
Yeah, in the nation.
I'm not going to disrespect Underwood like that. But yes, he did just get a kid to flip based off name alone because I do not believe a year ago, Julian Lewis was looking at Colorado as an option. No one could have convinced me of that. But I think he's flipped because of what Deion has produced. It's cool to go to be a Buffalo right now. It's cool to go to Colorado because Deion made it cool. And when you're 17, 18, that's what you want. What's going to increase my views on social media? What's going to give me most attention right now? How can I get another endorsement? Deion's doing that right now out in Colorado. So he has untapped potential. In the NFL, this paycheck coming to everybody, and it's you're not producing, you out of here. It's a not for long league.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, to answer my question about whether or not Deion potentially being his coach, I don't think it would. I'm a little uneasy about that personally, just because, like you said, Deion has done such a great job as his father of covering him. And that's what fathers should do for their children, is cover them and protect them and whatnot. But my issue, not even an issue, my concern, and I've communicated this about Shedeur multiple occasions. At every level that Shedeur has been a quarterback, his coach was his dad. And that kind of concerns me in the sense of adversity. You go to You go to the NFL, you're not going to tell me that whatever quarterbacks are on roster, whether it's Las Vegas, whether it's New York, whatever program or whatever franchise it is, you're not going to tell me that those dudes that have been in the league for a year or two, like a Tommy DeVito, is just going to fold and just say,
That's what
Oh,
I'm
it is.
saying.
It is what it
It's
is.
Sheddur's team now. Exactly.
Yeah,
Nah.
they're not going to do that. They're gonna be some of them are going to handle it in a shitty way of being a bad teammate and
Oh,
throwing you off.
absolutely.
But then
Absolutely.
some are going to be the true professional to help you, but outperform you. And then we the fans are going to see it in the preseason. We're going to see it in the first couple games. Which quarterback seems more prepared? Which one looks overwhelmed? We fans, we run with narratives. So once we see
Two
it,
perfect examples of exactly what you're saying
mhm,
right now. Look at Bryce Young, look at Anthony Richardson.
yes,
Both of them.
yes,
Supposed to walk in, be the guy.
yes,
Bryce Young would not have got his job back unless there was a car accident
right,
to Andy Dalton.
right,
Anthony Richardson, top 5 draft pick, is about to be in a quarterback competition next year
yep,
for his job.
yep,
He's been outplayed by Joe Flacco 2 years in a row.
yep,
That's concerning.
yep,
So to just add on and belabor your point, I definitely agree with you 100% on that. Like, it's about what you're doing on this field. It's not about who you are, where you were recruited, what type of
right,
scholarship you have, or even where you were drafted.
right.
Hey, bud, you ain't getting the job done. Come hold
You're
this
out of there,
clipboard.
no doubt,
You're out
no
of there.
doubt. Yeah. So but I can also say, I will end this with saying this about Deion. I do think Deion would make a good NFL coach. Just
Okay,
and the only reason why I say that is because he does let his coaches coach.
100%,
And
100%.
and we've seen over the past couple seasons. Now, depending on where you stand when it comes to Deion, you may say, well, that's because he can't coach. He don't know anything. But no, as a head coach of the at the NFL level,
I
especially,
tell you,
you're like a CEO. And
that's it.
you're the person that's gonna be protect and cover over your team. You're gonna get criticism of your coordinators. You're gonna be the one having to answer those questions. And I think Dion is capable of being able to do that.
Okay,
Now, when you're talking about the politics of if his son was a quarterback, then it kind of gets a little nasty because the media will definitely run with those kind of narratives of, oh, Sheddur hasn't done anything. He stinks. The only reason why he's out there is because his dad is a coach.
correct.
They're going to run with that. Like that will be first take Skip if he's around. There that's going to be the
Hey,
first
not
thing
touching
those
that
guys
one.
talk
Right.
about. Right. No,
Absolutely.
we're not touching those. But just like Jason Whitlock, we're not touching those. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think that Deion would be a successful NFL coach because he knows how to let his coaches coach and he knows how to make adjustments. That was one thing I would definitely give him credit for this year in comparison to previous year. Whereas last year he pulled Sean Lewis like mid-season,
Yep.
and a lot of us were like, "Man, that's messed up." Da 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 da. It kind of got better.
It
The
did.
offense looked better
It
a
did.
little. The
Little
next,
bit.
more so the next year, but it progressed. Same thing for defense coordinator. Coach Kelly got fired after the first season. They brought in a guy that none of us knew about who
Yep.
was coaching with the Bengals, and he had a hell of a season. It
Sure
wasn't
did.
perfect, it wasn't spotless, but he had a hell of a season. We got to be able to give Deion credit for that, making those adjustments. We got to be able to give him credit. Just like we can give the critique and call him out, we got to be able to go on the other end and say, hey, he actually did his thing there. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be able to do that as fans.
So the one caveat that I want to add to it is I don't think that the manipulation Deion's able to successfully have with the media in college football is going to play in the professional ranks right now. Deion can, we've seen it last 2 years, blast somebody in the media if they write a bad, bad article.
They'll turn ugly. They'll turn ugly.
That's not going to work. And Colorado has completely handed the keys to Deion and given him full reign.
Right.
In the NFL, you got to walk up to those press conferences. You got to sit there, take those questions, and you have to represent that organization. It's not just Deion and
you're not banning a reporter.
Not doing that.
You're not telling that man to go sit in the corner like
Exactly. Even Belichick. Belichick had to sit and eat those questions. He did it in his eat it. He did it in his way, but you still had to sit there and eat it. You can't just tell that man, hey, you can't come here no more. Ain't you the guy who wrote that article about me?
Right.
That's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. You'll be on TV from Monday to Saturday until that next Sunday, and then after that, with that same reporter in there with them questions. So that's why I feel like the way he's able to handle things on the college level plays on the college level, because when you step up to that next level, hey bud, you're the Las Vegas Raiders head coach now. You can't just be like, hey, don't talk about the kids like that. He's just a kid. He's just a rookie. Yeah. They're going to eat you alive. They're going to eat your lunch, Deion. You come in there with that mentality.
That's true.
So that's my only caveat to that. But as far as him being the CEO and being the figurehead, phenomenal job. From Jackson State all the way to Colorado. Phenomenal job.
Yeah, shout out to him. Listeners, man, comment down below. Let us know, what do you think? Do you think that Deion Sanders would be a great NFL coach? Or do you think that he would be a great coach with his son as his quarterback? Comment down below. Let us know and all that stuff. Get your opinion off. But Dave, let's go ahead and get into it. I gotta talk about it. You already see I'm a dog, but I'm wearing my green and my orange. You know, hey man, even though it's cold up here, you know where it's not cold, Dave? Down there in Coral Gables, South Beach. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it one more time just for the people.
I gotta give you a shout out, Adrian, because like you said, I've known you 20 plus years. As long as I've known you, the most diehard Bulldogs fan.
Absolutely.
You have been in Carson's corner from the time he's stepped on the field
to the
time he ultimately chose to leave. So I got to give you a shout out and give you respect for that.
No doubt.
But yeah, South Beach Carson.
Yeah, we got to talk about it, man. Carson Beck, who was the starting quarterback for Georgia Bulldogs past 2 seasons, he decided first after that injury at halftime of the SEC championship. UCL injury. He wound up being the quarterback to hand off the game-winning run in the SEC championship. Shout out to him. Toughness. A lot of people calling him soft and all that, but
can't do that. I you know what I'm saying? Him. He earned my respect.
The real
ran out in the field. You can see the man couldn't
the real
move his
people
arm.
Know. The real people.
Right.
If you've been there, you know it. So
yes.
Shout out to him. But you know, after the keys were handed the gunner, Beck went on to declare for that draft, and it was a lot of us expected that. A lot of us expected, hey, yeah, it's time to move on. Carson's going to go to the draft, but hold the horses, stop the presses. Just this past week, it was announced that Carson's not only taking his name out of the draft to return to college football, but he entered the transfer portal under a do not contact, so it was already decided. And where is my guy going to be playing football next year, Dave? He is going to be playing football in the ACC for the Miami Hurricanes with his boo watching.
Okay, that's I just wanted to make sure you do that, dude. I just want to make sure you do that.
I got to throw it in before you do, because you're going to be slanderous about it. So I got to at least dress it up. But yeah, Carson Beck is now a Miami Hurricane. It's been reports that he's signed an NIL deal that's allegedly worth $4 million, possibly up to $8 to $10 million. That's what I'm also seeing, but I'm more so seeing that 4 number, which is nuts. Shout out to him. But Dave, I want your opinion, because I know you've just like I've been a defender of Carson, because I think he is a good quarterback. I think this past year was a challenging one for multiple reasons that I won't even get into. But you've been on top of Carson's head top for multiple reasons, and his girlfriend's definitely one of those major reasons. I want your opinion as to what are your thoughts on the move from going to the draft, potentially being maybe a second, third round pick, to coming back to college and possibly making $4 million. What are your thoughts?
So for this conversation and for my take, I'm going to put my bias completely to the side.
Okay, I respect that.
I hated on Carson Beck more so because he was the Georgia Bulldogs starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows me, I am the biggest SEC hater. I think the conference is overrated. So for that reason, anything SEC related, I'm going to hate on. But
12
Big
of
Ten
last 15 championships, but do proceed.
you got to go there. But anyway, so that being stated, Carson Beck is an awesome talent, awesome arm talent. Uh, I didn't know he was as tough as he was. Didn't know he was athletic as he was. He showed all those things this year. Coming into this season, he was projected to be a Heisman Trophy finalist. So the talent speaks for itself. Season did not go the way he wanted it to, for him personally or for the team. And I'm not even going there. So
I'm
him
not gonna
personally,
I'm not gonna say no names because I don't
all
like
right,
doing that, but you know who
season
you
nigga,
are.
all right.
You know
Might
who
wear
you
number
are.
1-1, right? You know,
Hey, again,
hey,
I'm not in the business of calling,
I can.
man.
Now,
Yeah,
there
you
you go,
got
come
it.
see me.
You
Right.
got it.
But Carson is a talented player on the field. The man is a signal caller. He's smart. He can read defenses. And by all accounts, he was going to be a first round draft pick coming into the season. Season ended up, it did not project that way, based on, guys letting him down or just by the play on the field.
Yeah.
Projection fell. So I actually applaud the move for Carson to stay in college. I definitely applaud the move to get the bag, young man. That's what we're out here to do. And he definitely parlayed that to get the bag.
Mm-hmm.
I take issue in the school that he chose because if you want to be a great player, I do not see the University of Miami being your next destination.
Okay.
For the financial reasons, absolutely. To get on the field and start again and no competition, absolutely.
Mm.
But to say I want to go out and ride out on top, um, I just don't see it. I don't see Miami as a powerhouse. I'll be honest. I haven't looked at their
Cam last year.
But
Cam got busy.
Cam got busy.
Cam may be the number one quarterback. I mean, we were talking about Sheddur, but Cam
possibly. But Cam got that because look at the roster construction. I would argue that a lot of those guys aren't going to be there for Carson.
Yeah.
So, and with you taking $4 million in NIL, ain't a whole lot of NIL to go get people with. So, Carson, if the objective is to show my talent and show that the scouts are wrong about me and show that I am that guy, I don't see the University of Miami being the choice in the school because, hey, if you want to talk about the rumors were the Ohio State University was also offering Carson. Texas Tech was too, but that's not a Texas Tech was too, but that's not a serious offer. But if I want to go show that I'm the guy, I'm on the Will Howard track. Will Howard was average quarterback. Now he might be a third round draft pick, second round draft pick, based on the season he's at Ohio State. If I'm Carson Beck, I'm right now looking to be a second round draft pick. Hey, coach, let me go throw Jeremiah Smith for a year. Guaranteed, man's a top 3 draft pick.
Good.
Top 3 draft pick out the gate. Because he has the talent to be that. So that is my biggest issue with that. Secondly, it just doesn't.
Let's get into it, Dave. Let's get into it.
It doesn't sit right in my soul that Carson Beck chose to go to the school where his social media famous significant other has a platform set up, and I just see my guy going to trick off for a year to do TikTok dances and to be social media famous. Exactly, like he's already done it. Like how many posts has the man already posted with 15 and 15? Shout out to them though. Shout out to Love. No hate on that regard. I just feel like that part of the decision was based on, hey, I want to go spend a honeymoon season with my gal, and we both graduate together. So hey, if that's what you do, if that's what it's all about, hey, my guy, get the bag. South Beach is a beautiful location. You couldn't have picked a better location to be out here. Boo loving with your girl. So hey, that's my second biggest issue with
I
it.
feel that. I feel
If
that.
I'm going to be a competitor, I'm not going to Miami. And I'm not going to where the distractions are going to go from nothing with Kirby, because Kirby ain't letting nothing go on in the program. Hey, it's
No.
all about the program.
Right.
To now the distractions are going to be rampant. Let's say they get out to an 0-3 start. Carson brain on, hey babe, where you want to eat tonight? Or hey babe, what we wearing? These matching outfits. So I as a college football fan, that's my issue with it, because I just see the distractions being insurmountable.
Yeah.
The fanfare, the media coverage of both of them is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're going to have 15 and 15 everywhere. You even talking about you was going to buy a 15 and 15 jersey for you and your girl.
No doubt.
Hey,
Lois is on the way.
All right. So hey, I'm not even mad about that. But yeah, man, like the competitor in me was just like, it doesn't sit right as the choice. Now the businessman part of it, you give me $4 million right now, I'm going to North Dakota State.
No doubt.
From Georgia.
Immediately.
Happy. Immediately, coach. Where I sign, let's go. So that's my pushback. I won't roast man too much because I am a proponent of love. So if you're in love, hey man, go do your thing.
You're gonna have all the soft peppermints in South Beach, man. Soft peppermints. All shout out to the homies. Shout out to the homies. Hey. Right, no doubt. But I agree with you, Dave. It's one of those things where you said Carson came into this season projected as the number 1 overall pick. That's where the hype was. Now, I was honest about it. I said, I don't really see him being the number 1 overall, but the potential is there. He can make all the throws. He is low key athletic. He has the size.
The arm talent is real,
and he's smart, man. He's a smart dude. So it's one of those deals where I definitely saw the potential there. But one thing about society, one thing about college football fans, once we start hearing about the kind of money and the deals that are being made backdoor for you to be the player you're supposed to be, and things aren't going perfectly, it rolls downhill. And like you said, Kirby does a really good job of keeping things in-house. He does a really good job of calming things down. Think about after that unfortunate accident, a lot of other coaches, that shit would have, think about if that happened, God forbid, in Florida State or somewhere.
Right.
Like it would have been over with. But
wreck the program.
Kirby has a good job where he guards you. Like we talked about Deion protecting and providing cover for his son, his players. I'm not saying that Mario's not capable of that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, Carson has accepted allegedly $4 million to be your quarterback. That's even more pressure. If it was pressure for a $1.25 million NIL deal, including a Lamborghini or whatever truck he was, if the hype was there, $4 million and your old lady is right there and everybody sees them constantly, they gotta start off hot. Their first game is against Notre Dame.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
not saying that that's gonna go
Shout
bad.
out to Freeman too, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt. And we're gonna definitely end off talking about them. But it's just one of those things where the pressure is gonna be there, and you just gonna have to be there to accept win or loss as Carson Beck, and you better be ready to take whatever critique and just deliver, because that's all you got. But again, on the business end, it makes perfect sense.
Can't argue that.
Will Levis, I saw a tweet and I sent it to you. Will Levis contract with the Titans was for a little under $1 million. As a second round pick. Carson, that would have been Carson Beck. Carson would have gotten that second or third round draft selection. So of course I'm gonna go $4 million. But my thing about college football fans, I'm not even gonna go on the deep end because I'm not even looking for that. But it's one thing about us where we don't put ourselves in those shoes far too often. A lot of us Georgia fans are upset are annoyed with him. Oh, he's just for the money. He's just that. If your current job, you're being paid this amount, and I come up to you and say, hey, for this amount, I want you to walk out of that job right now. People would, we've seen it.
Quick.
We've seen
doing it today.
No doubt.
No notice, no nothing.
Straight up. I'm out of there. I don't owe you that. But a lot of these fans, they're tripping on that end. But to end off this, I do want to briefly talk about it, Dave, because we're coming up on time. But the business aspect of college football is really weird right now, because we're seeing a lot of these guys like a Carson Beck, even though people are saying he finaged his way out of the NFL draft so he can get more money. But the way that the energy seemed to shift toward away from Carson as a quarterback and Gunner as our guy would seem to suggest that the program pretty much made the business decision that we were moving on from Carson Beck.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're seeing that in other college programs. And you're getting we're speculating. This is all speculation. I think it's a confirmation, but it's speculation. At Texas, we're going to see the same thing with Quinn Ewers.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this is Arch's time now. They're gonna tell you, we don't know where you go. We don't care where you go, but you're gonna get up out of here.
And have to go, my guy.
That's what it is. Same thing, and people aren't really talking about this, except for me, because I love talking to Alabama fans. They did the same thing to Jalen Milroe.
Oh, he's got to go.
You know, and I know that Jalen Milroe wanted to come back for another year and make things right. You know it. You absolutely know it. But you know that Kalen DeBoer and whatever coaches that were in that room
said, and the boosters. Let's just put it on.
No doubt.
Hey,
true.
And let's put it on.
They said, hey, coach, son, this ain't it.
This ain't it. We're not patient anymore.
Right.
Like, the patience and the development is not going on at the college level anymore. And I think that is the dark side of the NIL is that, okay, you guys wanted this money. We gave you what you wanted. Now you have expectations. It's a different level of expectations. You're no longer amateur athletes anymore. We're going to start treating you like professionals. And if you're not producing immediately, or if we don't see it, it's not even about if you're producing. If we don't see the product immediately on the field, you got to go. And you just named the two biggest examples. Quinn Ewers and Jalen Milroe are not ready for the NFL.
Nope. But they're getting
they're
thrown
getting
out
the
there.
boot. Hey, you got to go figure it out over there, because you can't be here no more.
And I will say this, and we'll end it on this note. I'm not going to act like Kirby hasn't done this shit before.
Okay.
Because
talk the truth. I appreciate you being
no doubt. I'll be honest, as a Georgia fan. I
appreciate that.
Jake Fromm.
Hey,
this happened. You got to think that his last year at Georgia, everybody was pissed. Everybody was pissed with James Coley, the OC. Everybody was pissed with Jake Fromm. I was over Jake Fromm. and I'm watching over at Ohio State. I'm seeing Justin Fields going crazy for 2 years. Going crazy. The block was hot on Jake. So he was pretty much pushed out.
Yes.
I don't think he was asked to come back. I don't.
Absolutely.
That's just my opinion. And
there was definitely a conversation behind closed doors. Hey, son, come here, Sam.
And I mean, I think all it takes. I mean, it's a big ask, but you win a championship, they can't deny you like Stetson. But if Stetson would have lost that national championship, he wouldn't have been back.
Oh, bud, it would have been.
I have no doubt.
He would have been on. Yeah. He would have been on Stetson's neck.
So I'm not gonna act like I'm just pointing my finger at Alabama and Texas or whatever, right? Because he's been doing this. So that's just the state of the game, and I'm glad that we're on the same page with that. But let's go ahead and end this, Dave, with these championship predictions. The game is Monday. I haven't even looked at what's the cheapest prices for those tickets in Atlanta. But
you have blue blood programs.
Yeah,
so it's going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be rocking there. I'm looking forward to it as a college football fan. As a Georgia fan, obviously I'm disappointed, but I'm a college football fan. I'm going to be locked in, and I'm definitely enjoying what I've seen of both of these teams. Notre Dame has I mean, Notre Dame beat my guys. So,
Yeah.
it was just a flat out, hey, we're gonna outcoach you and we're gonna out hustle you. And that's what it was. That's plain out simple what it was. Shout out to Marcus Freeman. Riley Leonard is not good to me, but he makes it work. He makes it work. It's so he's one of those. It's so annoying because it's 3rd and 3. We know he's gonna run that mother, and he gets it. And he figures it out. He figures it out, and that's winning football. So shout out to him. Their defensive backs, those are grown men. Those are NFL prospects on that team. Their defensive backs. We're gonna play. Yeah, no, we're gonna play
whole defense secondary. You're right.
We're gonna play man coverage the whole damn time, and we're gonna dare you to beat them. Now, unfortunately for them, the team that they're playing wants you to think that.
Please.
Wants you to think that. Ohio State's the hottest team. I mean, clearly, they've been the hottest team the whole playoffs. They put hands to Tennessee. They took care of business against who was the next team that they beat? It was Tennessee, then Texas, and now we're here. So it's one of those things where I'll be honest, Dave. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my prediction. I doubted Ohio State against Tennessee. I thought that Tennessee had the guys.
You did.
They got hands. That's what they got.
Big time. No, we skipped Oregon. I'm sorry.
Oregon, the number one seed.
We skipped Oregon. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
The next round, I doubted Ohio State again. I said, look, man, I don't think Ryan Day's the guy. Dan Lanning's the man. Go Ducks.
Revenge game. Hands.
Revenge game. People know the duck on me is about that in Oregon. So shout out to those guys. They got hands. They caught all the hands, and Jeremiah Smith went crazy. This past game,
because what did Oregon do? Hey, we manned it up.
Right. Now this past game against Texas, I picked Ohio State to beat them because I was just like, you know what? This is a runaway train. I'm not picking against this team right now because they are playing on fire. The defense have been on point all season, but now the offense is actually clicking, and they showed us that you can triple team in some cases, Jeremiah Smith. Yep. That's just opening chances for my other 2 or 3 or 4 5-star wide receivers. Like it's getting sick out here. As a defense coordinator, you're gonna lose sleep matching up against this team.
Yep.
Chip Kelly's doing his thing as OC, and we gotta give him. Yeah, he's cooking. He's dialing shit up, and he's
cooking.
Yeah, he's getting busy. So Dave, I'm gonna tell you, in the national championship game, man, you got Ohio State, you got Notre Dame. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to upset.
I knew you was going with the lead course.
Upset Ohio State. They're gonna figure it out, man. They're gonna figure it out, or they're just gonna get blown the fuck out. But nah, I'm a hater, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick Notre Dame, man. Go ahead and give me your prediction, Dave.
So I'm not gonna give you the build up in the fanfare, but I must say that I know we've been friends for a while because throughout the playoffs, I've been supremely confident. I've been absolute confident that we are blasting the doors off everybody, except for this team. If you had asked me when the playoffs started, who I did not want to play, it's this team. Because of the Marcus Freeman effect. I think right now, Marcus is on a legendary tear. Like, he is, you guys want to laugh at me about the NIU game? Watch what I do. And Smacksville for everybody. For the entire season.
The rest of the season.
And
Michigan.
Yep.
You gotta bring that.
That was critique. That's Ryan Day's fault.
Oh, I'm thinking. Nah, I'm tripping.
But yes, Notre Dame has been on. Hey, you don't think we got the dogs out here? Let's line them up. And I respect what he's doing. I'm putting my dogs out there every game. You guys know what it is. We man to man, and he's got these boys believing. And when you believe, there's not much you can't do. Because he's got them wholeheartedly believing that we're the best team on the field. I didn't give them a snowball's chance of hell against Georgia. I was hating. I was hating on y'all the whole game, but I thought eventually Georgia's gonna figure this out. Even with Gunner starting his first NFL or first college game, I believe that the Bulldogs is gonna walk out there and hey, we beating the brakes off there. The difference is Notre Dame has real talent now, up and down the field, real talent.
No more excuses.
No more excuses.
Yeah.
No more of those Brian Kelly excuses. Right. We can't win here because we can't get the dives. Right. Marcus Freeman is like, watch what I do. Right. And in short time, he has real talent out there. So I'll be honest, I'm nervous because the man knows how to scheme. He knows how to coach. He knows how to get his guys motivated to play real football. And on the flip side, we don't have that. If you want to know our biggest weakness, it's in the booth. It's in the sideline with the headsets on. If Ryan Day gets to being scary, like what I think he came out against Texas, because I felt like we were a more talented team against Texas. I felt like the blowout
doors off. Yeah.
Exactly. I felt like the blowout train should have kept rolling, and we should have been out here just, hey, having our way. We having our way on offense, defense, and everywhere. But it was a tight game, and we had to figure it out late because Coach was out here playing scared. He calling plays scared. It wasn't about the players on the field. It was about, hey, let's not make a mistake. And when you try to play mistake-free football,
that's when it goes down. Yep.
You get beat doing that. So clearly I'm not going to pick us to lose, but I'm definitely not walking in with the same level of confidence because of the coaching staff on the other side of the field. Marcus Freeman has not blinked not one time. Even with the loss to NIU. Man took it on the chin. It's like, we'll be better from this. And since that embarrassing loss, these boys have been out here, hey, stay the course. I promise you we going somewhere. And he got in there. And I think this is his swan song. He's trying to go out on top and parlay this into an NFL job is what I see in Marcus Freeman's future. And this man's one step away from it. Not to mention he is an Ohio State alumnus, big time monster on the field with James Laurinaitis as his running mate on the linebacker field. So I'm sure he wants to personally stick it to them because I don't think he was considered for the job when they gave it to Ryan Day. So I think that he has a fire that's inside of him that's going to motivate his team to show up. You got 2 weeks to prepare, and hey, I expect them to fully come out and try to show that, hey, our guys are just as good as your guys. We're going to play man-to-man like we said. And if it gets tight, third, fourth quarter, I have a guy on our sideline who was showing that, hey, that pressure is definitely too much for him. I told you earlier in the season that I don't believe in Ryan Day, and I still, to this point, even though he's got to the national championship game, if we don't win, I think he deserves to go job hunting. The 0-4 against Michigan does not sit well, especially this year with a less talented Michigan team.
Yeah.
Because next year they're coming. Next year Michigan's coming again. So yes, I think we're going to win. Yes, I am going to root for us hard. Do I feel as confident as I felt the past 3 games? No, I don't. It does give me a lot of pause seeing what Notre Dame has done. They're 12-1 for a reason. It's not by accident. It's not because they're not in the conference. It's because, hey, our guys on the field are better than your guys, or we're going to play up to the level of your guys. And there's no more talent gap or talent deficiency. And when you have that, and you have expert coaching, and you have motivation, you can do things that people don't expect. And it would be supremely unexpected for Notre Dame to show up on January 20th and put a hurting on Ohio State. So that's just how I feel. And we've seen us when we don't show up out here losing to a less talented team. We've seen us lose to less talented teams. So we didn't show up against Oregon, got beat. We didn't show up against Michigan, got beat.
Yeah.
We got the revenge against Oregon, but we shouldn't have lost the first time, I feel like.
True. Yeah,
like
for sure.
A $20 million roster, because let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
This is the greatest roster ever bought. That NIL money is real up in Ohio State. So we were supposed to do what we've been doing in the playoffs. We're supposed to embarrass Tennessee like that.
For sure.
Because our roster says that.
For sure.
We're supposed to do that to Oregon because our roster says that. Because we went out and got the guys. We went out and paid for them. So if you have the best talent on the field, then the coordinators can't be the ones out here screwing up. And like you said, shout out to Chip Kelly. He's been in his bag.
Yeah.
But the guy.
Shout out to Jim Knoll too, because
in his bag.
Yeah.
So, but the guy who ultimately is responsible for getting the guys up to play. Hey, I've seen a lot of choke artists in them. I've seen a lot of playing scared and playing cautious, like that. So, if you're asking me if I feel 100% confident in my pick, I don't. If you're asking me if I'm going to pick against them, I'm not.
Hell no.
If you ask me if I'm on the first thing smoking up to Columbus and get this guy out the organization, yes, I'll be the first one to sign a petition to get this guy out of here, coach. Like, he can't keep just letting him. I mean, because the same way you just said it. If it's that way for the players and they have to live up to the expectation or they got to go, hey, Ryan Day, we put $20 million on this thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't say that I didn't have the guys. You can't say I didn't have the support. You can't say I didn't have the best of facilities and everything. You have it set up for you, my guy.
You're the CEO. If the company is losing its
not
ass
performing,
in profits and not performing, you gotta go sit down
get up
somewhere.
out of here.
Yeah.
Even with going to the national championship, hey, you ain't winning. Where's my ring at? You got to get out of here. So hey, that's just how I feel. But yes, I am predicting the Ohio State Buckeyes to pull out a squeaker.
I feel
that. A 27-24 game, something along those lines.
Okay.
If it's a blowout, I'll be surprised. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Now, if we come out hot, if we hit Jeremiah Smith with a 70-yarder in the first quarter, it might be striking the band up the whole game.
Because Riley Leonard's not bringing your team back like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's not. But if we go into the third quarter or fourth quarter and it's a 10-10 game, advantage Notre Dame.
Okay.
Advantage Notre Dame.
I feel that. And you know, I'm messing with you when I gotta pick Notre Dame. I gotta play Hill in this. So, you know, I wish Ohio State University much
Thanks,
luck.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying?
See the red cup. You know what it's about. You see what we're doing out here.
Yeah. So I do wish y'all luck, and I'm definitely gonna be tuned in Monday. But listeners, thank you again for checking us out. Dave, thanks for joining me again, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
We'll definitely have to. I mean, we're gonna be talking all throughout the game, more than likely. So,
I'll be happy to talk about off season when we got this ring on our finger.
And that's what I was gonna say. I'm definitely gonna bring you on in the postseason, not postseason, but off season, so we could talk about some of these recruits and what we see at the spring game, that sort of thing. And maybe Eric will join us on that. But listeners, thank you again for checking us out. Once again, this is Dogs versus All Y'all, a college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. We talk about all things college football, hence All Y'all. I'm Adrian. This is Dave. We're out. And as always, go Dogs.
Trust your preparation. Your ass is prepared for this shit for fucking 365 days. I think about the fucking in that locker room. Think about getting our opportunity. All the shit you went through this week to get ready for this game. Now is when you pay the fucking price. You go out there with energy, enthusiasm. Hey, nobody wants you to be cautious. Ain't nobody wants you to be nervous about shit. Go out here and fuck their ass up. Don't think about scoreboard. Don't think about shit. You think about knocking the shit out of them. Did you hear what Box said on Monday? When I sat in that fucking meeting, I wanted to go fucking play right then. Tore your shit up out here. 2 years ago, fuck your shit up. Goddamn pride and joy tells me you fuck these guys up. You go play the right way. You play the right way. You knock their ass off. You stay off the fucking ground. You tackle the fucking man with the ball. The shit's easy. Play the right shit. Punish their ass on offense and kick their ass on special teams, guys. It's about who the fuck we are. I believe in you. Let's go.